How's it going, guys? I hope you guys had a great week. So E3 is officially here, guys, and today I'm actually going to weigh in on the Microsoft E3 press conference. This isn't going to be a blow-by-blow description of what was revealed or what happened, because there were a lot of games at Microsoft's conference last night, but it's generally just going to give my impressions on it. So let's kick off first by talking about the most exciting part of the conference for me. The best part of the conference for me, without a doubt, was the reveal that Keanu Reeves is in Cyberpunk 2077. So this moment was so friggin' epic. Cyberpunk, again, for me, just stole the show, just like they did last year. It was absolutely amazing. It blew my mind. I freaked out, and it was just super awesome. I really love Keanu Reeves. I think he's a really lovely actor, really down to earth. Him coming out on stage and talking about the game, he was so lovely. He said like the game is breathtaking, and then someone was like, no, you're breathtaking. It's like, no, you're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking. It's definitely a Keanu Reeves moment, but it was really awesome to see him in there. Just really epic. You know, I mean, this is this guy that was in The Matrix, you know. It's really cool to see him in a Cyberpunk game. He kills it as John Wick, and it's just really awesome. The gameplay we got to see for Cyberpunk was pretty much cinematic trailers. I think it was pretty much like cutscenes in the game. We got to see the male V, but I've got to say, if that is what the in-game cinematics look like, then it's going to be amazing. I was totally blown away by it. But I thought Cyberpunk stole the show again, and then we finally got a release date confirmed as well, which is not far away. It is coming out in April next year. It's actually coming out on the 16th of April, 2020. So I did predict that I thought it would come out in 2020, and I was right. But April is coming out at the beginning of next year. I was expecting it to be a full 2020 release. I was expecting it to maybe be a cross-generational game, so coming out on next-gen hardware and current-gen hardware. But no, it's coming out in April. And yeah, that for me was just the best part of the conference. It was so friggin' epic. If you haven't seen my reaction, I'll put a link to it in the comment section below for you guys to check it out. Of course, I'll put a link into the conference as well for you to watch that if you want to watch it from beginning to end. So other than that amazing moment in the conference, what did I genuinely think of Microsoft's conference this year? Well, personally speaking, it was a bit okay. It was kind of average for me. It really didn't blow me away. There wasn't anything in there that sort of really blew me away and was like amazing wow moments. There weren't any massive huge surprises. There were a couple of reveals which I'll talk about, but generally I just thought the conference was a little bit average, you know. I don't feel that Microsoft really took full advantage of the fact that Sony were not at E3 this year. I feel like they could have taken full advantage of it. They definitely showed lots of games, and there were a lot of games that were revealed at their conference, but I think one of the biggest issues I had with it this year was that there just wasn't enough gameplay. We really didn't get to see any kind of long gameplay sections. You know, I would have really liked to have seen that. We got to see some cool cinematic trailers. We got to see some very short gameplay snippets. So we got to see like some more gameplay for Borderlands 3. We got to see a cinematic trailer for Gears 5. We got to see a really cool CG trailer for Halo Infinite, which is now confirmed to be a holiday 2020 release, and that is actually going to be released on the next gen console, Project Scarlet. That's been confirmed. So we got a couple of release dates, which was kind of cool. You know, we know that Gears 5 is now coming out on the 10th of September. We know Halo Infinite is coming out holiday 2020, and we know Ori and the Will of the Wisps is coming out on the 11th of February 2020. We got a couple of new reveals, which was kind of cool. We got to see a cinematic trailer, CG trailer for Elden Ring, which is the George R.R. Martin and From Software fantasy collaboration. So that is confirmed. Those leaks were confirmed. The rumors are correct. That game is coming. Don't know when. don't know what it's going to be about, but we got to see a CG trailer to give us a sense of the art style, and it looked really interesting, looked really cool, definitely gave me vibes of Lord of the Rings. So we got to see Ninja Theory's next game, which is Bleeding Edge. It wasn't what I was expecting. It is a 4v4 online multiplayer melee combat type game. Very much gives me vibes of Overwatch. So they're going for that kind of a genre from the looks of it. The art style looked really cool, but I was a little disappointed, to be fair. I mean, I know obviously Ninja Theory, this is probably the different team than the one that worked on Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, but just after how amazing that story was, I was expecting another really amazing single player story experience. So I'm curious about the game, but I'm not overly excited about it. But if you are interested, there is going to be a technical alpha that's going to be running from June the 27th, which you can sign up for if you want to actually pick it up and check it out. We then got to see some gameplay trailer footage for the new Battletoads revival, which is coming somewhen. We don't know when, but it looked fun. You know, it's like a 2D action game, very much in this theme of sort of Streets of Rage. So that looked kind of cool. And we got a reveal announcement for a new horror game called Blair Witch, which is a first-person horror, and it very much has sort of elements of Silent Hill in there. And it looks spooky, it looked cool. I hope it's better than the movie, because the Blair Witch Project was pretty crap as movies go. And then we got some big announcements. So we found out that Double Fine, the developers behind the Psychonauts series, which we got a gameplay trailer for, which was cool. We found out that that's actually, they're going to be becoming part of Microsoft's game studios. So Microsoft obviously getting another developer there for their first party titles. For me, it feels like Microsoft are more kind of trying to build their foundation to hopefully have a better stab at the next gen console, at the next console war, because obviously they've kind of not done great this generation with the Xbox One. So hopefully they're trying to sort of put things in place so that when the Project Scarlet comes out in holiday 2020, that's actually going to have more release titles, as well as obviously Halo Infinite. But let's talk about their next gen hardware, because they did actually reveal it. It's officially called Project Scarlet. It is going to be capable of 8K gaming. It's going to have an ability to have frame rates of up to 120 frames per second, which is absolutely insane. It's going to have ray tracing. It's going to have a solid state hard drive as well. Zen 2 CPU. It's going to be 4 times faster and more powerful than the current Xbox One X. And it is set for a holiday 2020 release. So we got a little bit of information on the tech. We didn't get to see anything running on the console or to showcase that kind of power, which would have been really awesome. I think for me, this hardware reveal fell a little flat, because I think Sony were smart to actually release their own PlayStation 5 console information prior to E3, because the whole time I was, listening to this, I was like, yep, PlayStation 5's got that. Yep, exactly the same as the PlayStation 5. So nothing about, Microsoft's console really stood out to me. Nothing about it was unique or different. And obviously for me, if the hardware is going to be pretty much on par, it's all going to be about the games. It's going to be which team bring the best games to the table, and that will be the team that I go with. And given how amazing Sony have been this generation, and how many amazing exclusive titles they've had, and how many cool exclusives they've got coming up, at the moment I'm definitely leaning more towards getting a PlayStation 5 as opposed to the next Xbox. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that we got. It was an okay conference. It wasn't terrible. The pacing was pretty good. There was a lot of trailer footage. There was a lot of, different games. Their indie segment was really cool. I like the fact that the indie studios were showing actual gameplay. So that was really cool. But I would have liked some big sort of, gameplay sections, even running through like an entire mission or that kind of thing. Like Gears 5 for me was completely fell flat. It showed us a cinematic trailer. They talked about a new game mode called Escape, but then they only showed it in like a CG trailer, and we didn't actually get to see, actually playing, people playing it. We didn't get to see what a normal online mission would look like. We didn't get to see how the multiplayer would work, different weapons, different abilities, the game mode itself. So I think, they really could have used one or two quite lengthy gameplay segments just to kind of show off, what they've got coming and to give people a better idea. I think it would have been really cool for them to have had a Halo Infinite gameplay section, even showing on the Xbox Scarlet. That would have been really cool. Obviously, a Gears gameplay would have been cool as well, because we do know that they have a working demo at E3. I don't know why they didn't showcase that in the conference, but those are generally my thoughts on Microsoft's conference. I thought it was okay. It had its epic moments like Cyberpunk, for example. It was really awesome to find out all the different release dates, so we've got an idea of when to expect these games. But it didn't blow me away. It was just a pretty safe, stable conference, and I would have liked more gameplay. That's generally how I felt about it. But let me know what you guys thought of the conference in the comment section below. Have you watched it? What did you think about it? What were the highlights of the conference for you? What were your favorite moments? What games are you excited about and hyped about? And what would you have liked to have seen at Microsoft's conference this year? So I'll be back all week with E3 coverage. I'll be covering all the latest news and information coming from Los Angeles this week. So please look forward to that. I am going to be back with a review of Bethesda's conference as well. I'm going to lay down my thoughts on that and share my general opinions on it. And then I'm going to be live streaming tonight of Ubisoft's and also Square Enix's conference as well, which I'm really looking forward to. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. Take care. And as always, happy gaming. Bye, guys.